Welcome back to part 46 of my Stationeers Mars playthrough. So last time we started replumbing the air supply system, but we had to take a bit of a stop because, as you can see, the power is not quite in an ideal state. So we've got various problems going on. We're out of fuel in here, which is why the system failure is going off, so we need to go mine some coal quickly. The gas fuel generator is now running. Doesn't seem to be running hugely efficiently, I must say, so I'm going to investigate that. And also we have damage to a number of solar panels and also a missing panel, so that seems like a quick fix, and I'm going to get that started first. I'm hoping that we can address these problems and then get on with the task of sorting out the rest of the air supply. Right, we want solar panel. Probably even make a heavy solar panel now. Well, the problem we're going to run into is lack of copper, so I'm going to need copper to make any sort of solar panel to replace the broken one. And once I've actually replaced that, I'm going to close them into a glass container so that we don't have to keep fixing it. Okay, that's too much. That is too much. Stop. Right. Let's get these fixed. At least get some more efficiency out of the generation devices we have got. I'll probably also put up some more turbines, but we definitely need copper before we can do very much else. So let's finish that one first. Right, get these fixed up. It's night time, of course, because that's the way it always works out. That just when you get these things fixed, it's the wrong time of day, but never mind. Let's get that done. That's obviously going to help. And we're missing one because I didn't fix it before one of the storms and it got destroyed. I should have some more. Yes, there we go. Finish that and fix that one. Okay, that's at least a start. Right. So now I'm going to go and see if I can manage to get hold of some more coal from somewhere without going too far afield in the dark. There goes the rocket again. Oops. There is still some down there, but not very much. There's more, however. In fact, there's quite a big vein quite near the surface here, so let's do that. Hopefully if we can just get the power system stable again, then that will help. do need to have another look at the cooling on the gas fuel generator, though it does not seem to be working as efficiently as it was.
Power critical.
Okay, come on, let's do this before the batteries run out. Let's head home. It's not a huge amount, but it will help. Okay. That should at least stop us having system failure. I hope.
Warning. System failure.
I'm still getting system failure warnings.
System failure. Warning. System failure.
Okay, so we're out of fuel again. This is part of the problem, I think, is that the rocket is using so much fuel. Once this is processed, there it goes again. Once this is processed, I think I'm going to isolate this tank again over here, so that we can build up a bit of pressure in there. Well, to be fair, actually, yeah, let's let it build up while the rocket's in space. Well, 4 MPa, that's quite a lot of pressure. That should keep the gas fuel generator running for a little while at least. Right, so the next question is, actually before we go in there, what's the state of the CO2 levels? Because they were, not absolutely out of CO2. I'm really, really surprised. I do wonder whether I've misconnected the CO2 line somewhere that I shouldn't have done. Really strange. Because we've now not got CO2, but we have got this will help. It's a bit hot at the moment. It's not like we're completely short, but this was at one point at 17 or 18,000 moles of CO2, and it's now 1,500. But this is still 95% CO2, so it's definitely not that we are out of it. It's just there's not really enough, but I think a fair bit of it is tied up inside the hab at the moment as well. In fact, I might shut this down and allow this to suck more air out. Actually, not so much that one specifically. I want to keep that bit of pressure in there. But this one, probably not down to 0. That's probably excessive. Let's drop it to 35 kPa. 40. We'll compromise on 40. That should keep the plants alive. But I want to try and process this out. Okay, so I'm going to go get some more copper. So that we can fix that broken... Oh, no I'm not. I'm going to go and change the battery first. Now I'm going to go and get some more copper so that we can switch out that broken solar panel.
Jetpack on.
Assuming I can find some. Okay, there's a fairly big vein. I just want to be able to see a little bit better. I'm going to come in like this because I don't want to create a larger disruption on the surface. It's a bigger crater for the rover to fall in. Really missing that mining yield mod right now. It's nice not to have errors over the top of everything, but this is kind of tedious. Could edit the world settings, I suppose. There's no way to do that. Okay, at least we can see where the ore is. It does help quite a lot.
Jetpack low.
If you can do this before the jetpack dies. Right, there's more down there. Getting there. There's a few stacks at least. Okay, that's going to do for now.
Jetpack on.
System failure. Warning, pressure low. Alert, alert. Warning.
Hydration critical.
Warning, pressure low.
So that's as expected. The low pressure warning.
Pressure low.
Totally unsurprising because I've just depressurized. There we go. There's some more copper. Depressurized part of the base. I'm just trying to suck out that solar panel. Okay. Suck out that CO2 and just clean up the air a bit in there. I've still got... Yes, I have. Right, good.
Jetpack on.
Okay, there we go. So that should help a bit as well. Okay, that's cooling quite quickly. That is mostly CO2, so fingers crossed.
Hunger caution.
We've got some CO2 hopefully building up in here by now. Amazingly we haven't. Let's shut that off for a minute. Okay, I'm not going to shut that off for a minute because it's determined that's going to stay on. That's still 72% CO2. I fear I have somehow cross-connected those pipes. Just trying to work out how I've done that. The only place I can see is that it's
Warning, pressure low.
in there.
Pressure low.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Warning,
Well, I don't quite know how that's happened, but
pressure
we've still got no CO2 and it's all still in the wrong place.
warning, pressure low.
There's a bit coming through here now.
Warning, pressure low. Warning, 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 pressure low. Warning, pressure low.
Flicking through very quickly, it's hard to actually see whether there's any. Can't see if there's any pressure in there or not. Right. I do need to repressurize this.
Jetpack critical.
Okay, that's certainly an improvement over what I got the last time I repressurized it, so I'm happy with that. Right, that's going to take a really long time like that. Let's get the labeler on it. Okay. Go to 20265, which is the highest available setting on a back pressure regulator. Okay. At least that means we'll retain more of it. And I guess in the short term I may as well extract whatever I've got in here as well. It's frustrating because we actually need some CO2 in order that this mixer can mix more air to flush out some of the CO2. Guess I probably also haven't done any, oh mind you, that's all shut off, isn't it, as well? That won't be helping. What's in here? Oh, well, when you look at that, an absolute stack of not cold, but not too hot CO2. Let's do that. Okay, I'll shut that again. Now, hopefully now this is actually going to mix. See, even then it's still really struggling to. CO2 is coming through, it's just been consumed immediately. However, what we should have is a good stack of air. Throw all that through. Never got enough of these. Right, there's loads of oil now. Oh, look at that. That should make some rise. Right, okay. So the pressure in here is still at 77 kPa. Right, so what I want to see. That's 105. Okay, so the mix in this tank is gradually becoming slightly less CO2, although the pressure's very low. If I turn that off. Shouldn't see any more CO2 or any significant amount of CO2 coming in. Okay. I just want to check what's in this tank as well. Right.
Health low.
So that's the dirty air. Okay. Water. No, that went wrong. Go in there. Let's consume some food while we're here. Right, okay, let's try to get a few of these things working. So, first things first. Those yellow lines flying around there. That yellow line is this one that runs around here, so that's now all correctly connected. The green lines are running into here. Need. I think what I might do is actually put in the same way that I've split the air into compressed and uncompressed. I might do the same with the waistline. And put a waistline that's going to the exit, and then we can move the other back pressure regulator in here. Replumbing is a bit painful. Right.
Jetpack on.
What's the first problem is? Oops, what have I done? Put one belt inside the other. That was not what I meant to do. The first problem is actually trying to figure out where on earth I'm going to fit this stuff together. So I'm going to have to get these pipes in and out. Let's put that away. That scares me when that happens. Right. Okay, so I could. Really what I want to do is route these green pipes here that are coming in from all of the waste lines into the tank room. Fit a back pressure regulator in here somewhere. So if I brought them in and put a back pressure regulator somewhere, maybe on that back wall, and then have that tank connected simply to outside, that would work.
Warning, pressure low. Warning, pressure low.
Alternatively, we just place the back pressure regulator outside, which is how it's set up at the moment.
Jetpack on.
still in my mind, just trying to think this through and see whether there's any obvious place that I've misconnected things. I think that's okay. So the pressure in here is still holding at 75 kPa. Why is it not flowing out?
Jetpack on.
I should be sucking it out. That's set lower. Right, I need to go back outside, I think. Try and puzzle this out. It's strange because it's low in here,
Warning. Pressure low.
but it's not low.
Warning. 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 Pressure low. Warning. Pressure low. Warning. Warning.
Don't understand why that room is the one that's depressurizing, because that's set to 84.
Warning. Warning.
This has got because that's now got a vacuum in it and that's connected to here, so that's sucking it all out. That's why there's no one-way valve. That's what needs to happen. So I need a one-way valve. I think that's probably what happened originally as well.
Warning. Warning. Pressure low. Warning. Pressure low. Warning. Warning. Pressure low. Warning. 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 Pressure low.
So in there, that needs to be a one-way valve going that way. That will stop it sucking air out of here and into this pipe here, and this pipe here is, I think, much lower pressure because we're pumping it out down there. But we're not pumping it. We are pumping it in.
Warning. Pressure low.
Oh no, this is turned off, that's why. Effectively.
Pressure low.
That would be more helpful, wouldn't it? Right.
Warning. Warning. Pressure low. Warning. Pressure low. Warning.
Okay.
Warning. Pressure
So that will help a lot. The greenhouse supply is now slightly separated from everything else.
warning. Pressure
But I
low.
actually think if I put that onto here
Pressure low.
and control the greenhouse supply there, that's a better solution.
Warning. Pressure low.
And then this line here becomes effectively a blue line all the way along.
Warning. Warning.
I think that's the most efficient way to redo this.
Warning.
Always takes a bit of time to get my head around it when I'm trying to
Warning. Warning.
re-plumb.
Low. Warning. Pressure low.
Yeah, so I've just put that.
Warning. Warning.
I am going to reuse that here just to make sure that that is only ever going one way.
Pressure low.
And wow, look at that, that's taken the pressure out of that pipe enormously.
Warning. Pressure
And then
low.
this one here becomes a regulator going that way.
Pressure low.
This allows us to control the greenhouse separately from the rest of the hab, and I think
Pressure low.
that's probably quite helpful actually. I was going to connect it all onto one unified system, but
Warning. Warning.
later on we may even
Pressure low.
want to modify the gas mix that's going in there.
Low.
At the moment, CO2 toxicity is not modelled in the game, but it is coming, and it may be the case that we need to actually mix the CO2
Warning. 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 Pressure low.
further back. But that's now one way. That's one way, so that's one in, one out there. And then this line here, which needs to be labelled as a blue line because it's not pressure controlled. Okay, that's fine.
Warning.
blue paint? No, but I'm going to need that purple.
Pressure low. Warning, pressure low.
Okay, I think that's a fair compromise between
Pressure low.
complexity and security.
Warning, 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 pressure low.
I could also replumb the whole waste gas line, but that's not an issue at the moment, so I think we'll just stick with that. That's solved the problem I was concerned about, which was everything just bursting.
Warning, 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 pressure low. Warning, pressure low. Warning, 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 pressure low. Warning, pressure low.
In fact, this is actually maybe an
Hydration
easier
critical.
way to see what's going on. That doesn't go anywhere now, does it? No, that's just a corner. Except I've done this wrong. I'm going to make it alternate colours. I needed to start in a different place, so let's just do that. Be done with it. We can see that is all. We just need to be sure we don't confuse it with water, but the pipe structures are different. And I'll do the same at this end. So that is. Whoops. Okay. I'm not going to rip all of that up. If I start messing around with it, I'll have to clean it, but for now. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is to put in some climate control in the tank room and obviously finish the tank room off. So we're going to need IC housing and an IC 10. I'm going to use a memory chip. Why is that? Must have got sucked in somewhere. I guess it must have blown over the vent when the melt room exploded. Anyway, right, I need plastic sheets. And I need some steel sheets. Okay, hopefully that's enough. And I see 10. Oh, needs gold.
Warning, pressure low. System failure.
Ah, finally it stopped alerting about the pressure in the greenhouse, so that's working. Oh no, maybe we've just got a different problem. We've got system failure. I think that's the solid generator out of coal again. Just getting a little bit tedious, I'll be honest. Right, now is there any way that I can stack things to make room anywhere for this? No. Not really.
System failure. Alert. Alert. System failure.
Oh, it's got to be tools. I need to move that, and then I'll do that, and then I can grab that. Right, okay. Actually, let's get this set up as a climate control. Do wish there was a search on this. Whoops.
System failure. System failure.
Hab climate control.
System failure. System failure.
Confirm. Export. Right, there we go. Assume that this is out of, yeah, it looks out of coal, doesn't it? Trying to see when it's turned on. There's a switch. It doesn't do anything. Okay, well, we've got some power. It's not quite as much of an emergency as it was, but it's not great. Is that a heater on? Why does that keep doing that? I need to fix that code. It's very small amount of pressure in there. Yeah, I just need to change the threshold on that to turn the heater off at a certain point. Come on! 0.01 moles.
System failure. Alert. Alert.
Right, that'll help.
System failure.
Those use quite a lot of power.
System failure.
Right. Okay, so the hab is at 65 and climbing. Actually, what I should have checked was 65 and climbing, but what's the composition? Hopefully it's reasonably sensible. I need water anyway, so I guess I may as well just do that while I'm here. Nearly all CO2. How is it nearly all CO2? Okay, I need to put some of this stuff down.
System failure. Alert.
Of course, it's because the
System
pipe,
failure.
the mixed pipe, is already mostly CO2. Okay, we will get there. Right, first things first, I haven't got enough cable, have I? Should have printed more cable. That was silly. Right, I need to connect the housing, which may as well go that way up. Need more cable anyway, we'll need to just run it around the bottom.
System failure.
Actually, put that there. We're going to use that memory to just replace the dial, so that can drive this. Okay, let's try and get some more of this constructed.
System failure. Alert.
Okay, that's those.
System
The
failure.
rest belong at the top. It's not the nicest look, is it? I might change that style in a bit, but for now, let's just get this built. So, plastic sheets. Oh, there's one. And a crowbar. even get the right tool. Right, okay, there we go. Quite like the look of the composite doors, they are quite classy. Especially once we label them. Pink room. There we go. Okay. I know these came from somewhere topside, but I'm going to use them here. Okay, so that's most of the tank room up and running. We just need to connect this slot. So I need a bit more cable. What I'm hoping is that... Right, that's where all our CO2 is sitting anyway. If I turn this back on... Yeah, the external pressure in here is dropping, which is what I expected. So let's turn that on. Then hopefully that will increase the pressure in here and start to cycle that CO2 through. It's going to take a little while to come right, but...
Jetpack on.
What we should be seeing is that the mix in there, 5% nitrogen, mix in there, 0%. So that's what's coming through from the mixers. I think I need to check what's going on with those mixers. I'm a bit baffled by that. We've got nitrogen in the tank. It doesn't seem to be mixing it properly.
System failure. Alert. Alert. System failure. System
Oh, I
failure.
forgot the in fact, that will be easier. I'll do that when I get back in. Right, let's go and see what's going on over here. So this mixer should be taking input 2 is... Oh, that's what's happened. That's got... How has that got reset like that? Should be set like that. At what point that has happened is beyond me. In fact, I think it probably should be more like that. That's why we have a problem with our gas mix. Right. So that should be starting to bring CO2 through now at a sensible temperature. Okay, I don't know how that's got changed. Anyway, that's the cause of the problem. That's now working.
System failure.
Right. Fixing one broken thing at a time. I'm not sure how it's got into such a state so quickly, really. Okay, next thing. Let's pick that up. A bit more cable. No. Ah, I can't type now. Stop it. Right, cable. So if I finish off the climate control in the tank room, that would be good. And I'm going to set that to 20 degrees C. Rather it's slightly cool than slightly hot, because with the windows it will tend to heat up. And at least then that should hopefully start to keep things under a bit of control. How many pipes are there? 10. That is not going to be enough to do anything meaningful. We're going to need another 20 stack. Which we're not going to have enough iron there for anyway. Right, while this is happening, I'm going to see if we can find ourselves a nice trader that wants to sell us. Actually, we've got some Somewhere we had some charcoal. I'll take it. That can be fed into the solid generator. We might have to start manufacturing our own at this point. Anyway, that's gone in there. That's the end of system failure. Good. So you can manufacture charcoal. I just thought, thinking about these things, composter needs turning on. Can manufacture charcoal by putting organic material through the furnace. Sadly, I don't think we can do the same with... there's no heat in that, is there? Don't think we can do the same with fertiliser, because I think we're going to end up with quite a lot of fertiliser. I'm not actually sure what happens if you do put fertiliser in a furnace. I'm going to find out. Okay, it just gets destroyed, apparently. Yep. Okay, well that's good to know. If we've got too much of it at any point. Right, let's turn these pipes off. I shouldn't have left that running, should I? It's okay. I was waiting for iron. I remember now, it all comes back to me. Ding. Right. Drop that in there, print that there. Okay, so what I do want to do, first of all, I have no idea where I'm going to be able to route these, but what I'm thinking is if I can route one up here, can share radiators. Which is probably not best practice. But it'll probably do the job. Yeah, we'll do that.
Waste tank critical.
Made almost no difference at all. Okay. Right, so this hab is properly pressurized now. Hopefully this side will start to be. Don't know why I'm playing nice and waiting for the lift. I actually need to probably turn the jetpack on in a minute anyway to get up and connect these pipes, but there we go. Right, so that comes through about here. That's going to be the problem, isn't it? Crossing that yellow pipe. It's going to have to come out low. No, it's going to have to cross it
Jetpack on.
behind here somewhere. Fortunately, we can't just open these frames up now, so we're going to have some slightly ugly pipe bulges, but there we go. At least this is the back edge of the base. There we go, along there. Okay. Oh, that's almost perfectly lined up. That's more luck than
Jetpack
judgment. There we go. Amazing. Although, what I'm going to quickly do is just to make sure we don't get mixed up in here, because there's an awful lot of pipes coming and going from this room now. Okay, that should... yeah, that does work. Good. Okay, so let's get this set up. So let's just quickly set this to 20. Okay. So I can actually find a piece that I can... there we go. Okay, I think that's all connected. Tidy that up a bit. Grab the screwdriver. Let that generate an error. Right, okay, so gas sensor. Heater. Cooler. Thermostat. Okay, that should be all of it. There we go. So that should now be set to 20 degrees. Actually, let's test it. There we go. 19 degrees.
Hydration critical.
Perfect. And obviously the reason that we want to keep it cool in here is that's going to affect the temperature of this air, which in turn is going to affect the temperature of what we pump around the base. As we compress air in here, it's obviously going to heat up.
Hunger caution.
At the moment it's cooler than what's in here, but it will equalise. I'm not specifically putting radiators, it's really just to try to buffer the temperature of that air, so if it were to come in very hot or very cold, it should start to equalise to about the right temperature. That's really the point of this room. So, I shall come out of here, we'll seal that up. Close up the wall. It's a bit of a mess up there, isn't it? There we go. Okay, and I've got a few panels left that I can use in a minute. So now all of the air coming in through the yellow vents, except for in the greenhouse, should be pressurized and correctly mixed once we work our way through the backlog of incorrectly mixed air in the tank, that is. So I'm going to leave that to do its thing. We'll go back up top side. Leave that one open for now. Okay. Throw them out there. Oh, missed. Never mind. Can't even see what's growing in there. Right, just throwing some of this stuff away. I don't even know whether it gets made into anything, but at least we can get it out of the way. What I'm really after in a minute is some decayed food, because I'm going to feed that into a furnace and use it, oops, to make... Oh, come on, pick up. No, it's not doing it. Charcoal. There's definitely some decayed food down there, but I don't think I can get it. Okay, and there. Oh, I had it. Try to do this without smashing my visor as well. Surely I can get more than one. Maybe I can't. Let's try and come back out.
Jetpack on.
Tunnels down there. Okay. Let's go see what happens if we put some of this through the furnace. Throw that in first, kind of nothing to lose. I think that's gone. Or maybe it's just not very hot in there anymore. It's got pressure. No, it's very hot indeed. Okay. Well, that was interesting. The pumpkins processed. Said they were pumpkins, but I don't really know what that is. They seem fairly indestructible, whatever they are. Can't imagine that that's going to work, but you know, it's worth a try. Threw something out.
Jetpack on.
Expected that to come out of the reject end here, but oh no, there it goes. It's just come through still as reagent mix. Okay, I'm not sure what I need to do to make charcoal. So I better look it up. Maybe that's a good idea. Charcoal. Right, so how do we get biomass? Oh, it's arc furnace, not normal furnace, that's why. Recycler and centrifuge. Right, okay, so I need to put that through the recycler and centrifuge. And then I put the result of that into the arc furnace. Which luckily is how this is set up, so let's see what happens. It still recognises it's 14 pumpkins at this point. See what it throws out of there. Well, a few useful bits anyway. If we can make this work, it would be quite useful, because we could actually then set up a charcoal plant. Well, that's 14 reagent mix, so I'm assuming that's the same 14 we started with. I've just got these stacks of
Help
reagent
low.
mix. I don't know how to break those down. Unfortunate. I don't know what's in them until I guess I could try flinging some of them in. It's very hot in here, isn't it? That's what happens when you leave the door shut, I suppose. Need to get some water. Oh, okay, well that was a bit of a result. That was actually steel. Nice. More by luck than judgment. That 14 I'm pretty sure is our 14 pumpkins, but I don't think it's in any way recoverable. Unless it works when I have nothing else in there.
Hunger critical.
Okay, that doesn't look hugely optimistic, but you never know. What else did we have in here? There's one unit of something else. I think it was Invar. I might as well see what comes out of here. Be amazed if it's biomass, but no, it's 14 reagent mix. The indestructible 14 reagent mix of pumpkinness. Who knew that pumpkins were basically immortal? Ah, that's solder. Okay. Is it going to come out or not? Apparently not. Okay. Well, I don't really know what to do with these now. Throw them in there, I suppose. This looks bad. That's what happens when you... No, that was turned on. Why on earth did that happen? Glad I saw that. It's very hot. It's all going wrong now. I don't know what's happening to this base suddenly. It's all gone crazy. I suspect that what gets emitted when you burn charcoal is not quite the same as when you burn coal. Right, okay. Well, now I actually know. What happens if we put seeds in? Do we get biomass? I bet we don't, but it's a good way of getting rid of some seeds, I suppose. Or jamming the whole system up, of course, that's the other option. Okay, let's whoops, roll one. Okay, well they've disappeared, so it's done something. No, they won't go in. So where did they go? Are they? It's really strange. Won't let me put them in. Okay. Right. I'll try and smelt some tomatoes then, I suppose. But before I do... See whether anything comes out of that other than something equivalent to the 14. Brilliant. I've now got 29 units of... Don't know what to do with that. I suppose, I mean, I could try feeding it into the cooker and see if it cooks it. I think I must need to use maybe decayed food in order to smelt that. That might be what I need to do. I don't know. Yeah, that hasn't worked, has it? Although that's got 91 carbon in it. Let's remove this corner a minute. No. Well, I don't know what we can do with that. Quite possibly nothing. Hasn't gone in. Where's it gone? It's gone there. Yeah, okay. I think that is just rubbish at this point. At least we'll get them out of the way. Right. Well, I don't know what else to cook then. I thought that might have solved the problem. I would very much like... Let's leave that there to decay. To make some coal. See whether I can... So I can't put fertilizer in. Oh, don't know what's going on. Something's gone really, really laggy. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what we're supposed to do with that. How long will that take to decay? 27 hours. Surely we can decay it faster. There's a neat trick you can do. You're not supposed to, it's a bit cheaty, but you can actually make it clip through the wall. Well, that's going to take 61 hours to decay in there. That's actually better conditions than it was out here. I should have saved some decayed food. Never mind, I didn't. So there we go. Let's restart the fuel mixer. How's this coming along? Oops. Oh, that's the wrong one to drop. I think we're a little bit low on charge maybe now. See lights flickering on and off. That's never a good sign, is it? Oh, that seems to be alright. Okay. Right. So the next project, now we've actually got enough copper, I'm going to rig up another IC and attach it to the advanced furnace. And I'm going to put a chip on there that's going to allow me to at least partially control that furnace. It's not brilliant. Definitely needs some more work. But it'll give us something. Right, electrum we've got. I believe we've got some electrum in here, actually. But I am wrong. Split this, we're not going to need all of that in that pipe bender. Split it into 5 20s. I'm going to put some of it back in there as a spare. I'll take some of it into the pipe bender and some of it can go into the electronics printer. Okay, right. So the script I've got is doesn't quite do as much as I would like, honestly, but I've run out of lines. Which is a bit of a problem. We've only got 128 lines to use in MIPS, or at least the way it's implemented in Stationeers. But basically what it's going to do is it's going to calculate what pressure of cold fuel it needs to put in order to hit the target pressure that it needs for the alloy that we're making. It's then going to control the pumps to do that. It's going to fill that until it reaches the right level. Then it's going to switch to cook mode. It's going to light the furnace basically. It's going to monitor to see whether or not it's managed to make what it's looking for. Obviously at that point the temperature and pressure will gradually start to, they'll peak and then start to drop. If at some point it passes through the desired temperature and pressure range, obviously it should be able to make what it's looking for. If it reaches a stage where it's below pressure and below temperature, it will then move to an emptying cycle, although it keeps monitoring just in case you get a pressure spike, which can happen as you get partial combustion. And then there's a safety override also in here that says if the pressure hits 57, I think, MPa, it automatically empties it. 55. I'm actually going to turn that one up because I have discovered from a little bit further testing that 55 is too low. 60 MPa, the furnace explodes, so quite important we don't exceed that. So that's what that code broadly does. It's taken quite a bit of testing to get that right, and I've been just doing that in a testbed world, just to try to get the temperatures right. I had it working previously, but with the changes to combustion, some of the temperatures are now different, and most frustratingly of all, when you're trying to make I think it's Stellite that requires 1800 degrees. If you just combust pure fuel mix in the... Oh, it's gone really laggy again. If you just combust pure fuel mix, then what you actually end up with is 1794 degrees, so 6 degrees too cool. So I haven't quite cracked that problem yet. I know it just needs slightly different fuel mix. It needs some nitrous in it, I suspect. And I guess that's really the point of nitrous, just to boost that temperature a little bit, but I haven't quite got that working, so we'll add that update once that's done. But in the meantime, I'm going to fit this. I'll fit the electronics over here. There's no point of putting them too close in. pop them there. Okay, so let's just snip a bit of that. Get that the right colour. I know I could have used one less cable if I'd gone slightly further to the right, but I'm trying to trade off putting this near enough that I can see it and far enough away that if I blow this up it doesn't destroy the chip as well as everything else. And then we're going to put the dial there. And we also need to put a pipe. Now, which side does this need to go? It needs to go this side. Oops. Okay. So, first things first, let's set the maximum on this. No, not as high as that. So maximum is 5 because there are 5 advanced alloys. Okay, so this is the furnace itself. Advanced furnace. That is the dial I've just set up. I don't know if there are any other dials. We'll find out in a minute. No. This is the pipe monitor that I've just set up, but I think there's going to be a few of those. Pipe analyzer, rather. Pipe analyzer, there we go. Right, actually what I ought to do now is just label that lot so we know what's what. Okay, so if I've set this up correctly, I should be able to turn that on. It's not a good start, is it? Unknown error at line 18. Have I failed to connect something? Ah, it wants an LED as well, just to cycle through the modes so we can see what it's doing, a little bit like the other one. Quick bit of bowling. Whoa! Oh! He shoots and he hits the post. Right. So let's get the... Sorry, excuse that very loud traffic in the background. Not sure what's going on out there. That's fine, you can stop. Stop. One LED is all I needed. So let's put that here. Okay. LED advanced furnace. So I just need to connect that over here. Let's turn this off. I suspect that's how that mixer got set wrong, was I changed something while it was still turned on and just skipped across it.
Hydration critical.
There we go. Okay. Right, so you see the first thing that's happened is it's actually turned the furnace off. So the way this is now configured is, and these are in alphabetical order, so if I set this dial to 1 it will try and make astroloy, 2 will try and make hasteloy, 3 will try and make inconel, 4 is stellite, and 5 is waspaloy. Now waspaloy is definitely not working. Stellite is flaky. hasteloy works, but it just needs a bit of time because it basically spikes too hot, but as it cools it passes through the correct temperature range. Astroloy and inconel I should just be able to make straight away, obviously subject to the right materials. Now I'm not going to try to actually make anything now, but I'll just flick that and just you'll see it immediately turns on. And what it's done here is this chip is actually calculating a very large number. That's a scarily large number. No, 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 no. Turn off. Is that already lit? Oh, that was lit. That was why. It was calculating the pressure that it needed to get to. And in fact, that would be right. We could actually make... It's a bit hot, but it will cool through the right temperature to make astroloy. So I slightly panicked myself too early then. This I didn't expect it to pressurise quite as quickly. Okay, well there's an opportunity to test what happens if we put fertiliser in there. Right, it just obliterates it. Okay, well, at least now we know the answer. So what should happen is still unknown error at line 18. This is now in a cooling cycle. That light's gone purple, and you can see it's now pumping out. And obviously that's going to have an effect over here. Well, less so than I expected, I'll be honest. I had a horrible moment there where I heard the noise, I saw the fire, I couldn't see the rocket moving, and I thought something's just exploded over the other side of the base. Right, okay, so what this cycle should do is, and I'm going to flick that off so we don't burn all the fuel, is what it should do is it should calculate based on the temperature of this. It should then calculate what pressure it needs to pre-prime this to before it lights it. It will then use the pump controls to get to that pressure, and you actually see the dials moving as it gets closer to that pressure. If it goes over, it'll bleed a bit out. Hopefully it doesn't. Then once it hits that pressure, it will light it, and that should get to the right pressure to make the necessary alloy, at which point it's then going to see whether or not it can make it, and it just watch for that. And then once it drops, as I say, below the pressure and temperature threshold, so at that point there's no way it's expecting to be able to make it, it will then open this pump to maximum and empty out the heat, as it will also do as a safety precaution. So I slightly panicked there because the number that you see on the chip, -9, is basically asleep, which is the state it's in now. If I turn that, let's turn it to inconel. That's a bit less of a vicious build. See, it's now trying to pressurise to 2498. That's where it wants to get to. So it's going to pump that to 2498, and then we'll get you saw it do it. Okay, so I suspect it's going to need a little bit more work, but the other thing this does do that the other one doesn't is it actually turns that dial back to 0. I'll probably replace the dial longer term with a memory and a series of buttons, because you've got to be pretty damn quick to dial that into, say, a 4 or a 5 within one tick, 1/2 second tick. Otherwise it reads what it was on and off it goes, really, but it's a start. Right, so that's installed. Okay, I think we probably might call it a day on this one. We're coming up to time, I think. I'm not sure even how long I've been going because I don't have an on-screen clock now. I was hoping that I might have some decayed food to feed in and try and make some charcoal, but I don't think that's going to happen. Shouldn't have thrown all of the decayed food I had away, really, but yeah, this is taking hours to decay. Optimise the temperature too well in here. never mind. So if I take one into a different room, what's the temperature in there? That's still, no, it's no different. That's the thing, we've climate controlled the whole base, so, but you know where we haven't climate controlled? Could have a genius way of making decayed food. That's already cut the time quite a lot. Okay, well, it's a start. I don't think... No, it has got some. Right, so this is now 142 degrees. That's doing it. That's how to decay it quickly. Right, that's actually worth thinking about as well as a solution if we need decayed food to feed to the composter, or more broadly if we want to industrialise charcoal production. Oh good, system failure again. Right, right, okay, I don't quite know what's going on, but I seem to be having massive lag, so I'm going to call it a day there and investigate what else is kicked in the background on my computer to lag this game out so much. Let's grab some water because otherwise we'll just need to do that at the start of the next one. Hopefully we've made a few improvements there. We finished the tank room. We have automated the advanced furnace at least somewhat, and hopefully we're on our way to making some charcoal, but as you've seen from my experiments this episode, we're not quite there yet. I think once I can get that going, the next thing to do is to really going to be to go mining and then to focus on getting a mining rocket up and running for ore as well. I think that's that would be a smart investment next. So that's the plan, and I hope I will see you on the next video. If you're enjoying these, I'd love it if you would subscribe. I'd love it if you would like and comment. That all increases the visibility on YouTube and helps other people to find them, but also, you know, share it with anyone else you think might be interested in seeing a bit more of Stationeers. I think it's a great game. I think there's a lot to it, and hopefully you're seeing in these videos there's kind of really the limits to your imagination, and it'd be great to get it in front of some more people. So hope to see you on the next episode. Until then, goodbye.